Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is my. Before I say anything else, this is my second time making this video after I took 15 minutes on the original. YouTube has not been working for me lately. When I record a video, when I get done recording it, it won't go to the post. It'll just stay on the video and show nothing. Won't show the video. I can't find it anywhere. That's why my September 11th video never got uploaded. So I'm using my camera right now. Hopefully this works. But almost, it's about 6:20 in the morning. I have school today and I never made a video after what happened or last night. So I guess we're going to talk about it now. I want to talk about the first presidential debate of 2020 between President Donald J. Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden. Now let me start off with saying, which a lot of people expect what I'm about to say. I believe how both of them acted was very childish. Seriously, talking over each other, and it was non-stop. At least give some sympathy towards one another. Between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump back in 2016, at least they had sympathy for each other. They actually let each other talk sometimes. They actually had something nice to say about each other. I mean, the guy asked both of them, say one good thing about each other. Hillary said he raised beautiful and great kids. That she was proud of all of them. And he took that as a compliment. And he told her that she never gives up, and she fights, and she is very strong. Why couldn't that be the same tonight? Or, not tonight, when the debate happened? I just think it's a little bit of a political thing between Democrats and Republicans. I will admit, I did like some of the things Biden said, but I don't agree with all of them at all. Trump, he made really good points in that debate. But just the whole talking over each other and stuff like that thing is really what screwed Trump over on winning that debate. Really, as they say, anybody who didn't watch it is the ones who won. Because it was just horrible watching it. I sat there, I watched it from beginning to end on ABC News. And I enjoyed it at the beginning, and then it got into a little bit of a firefight. This was the hottest presidential debate in history. Now, why couldn't it stay like how Kennedy and Nixon did it? Kennedy and Nixon were so respectful towards each other. When Kennedy was talking, Nixon had his mouth shut. When Nixon was talking, Kennedy had his mouth shut. And he did not talk until the moderator said, Senator Kennedy or Vice President Nixon, will you comment? That's the only time they talked, really, or when they had to answer a question. It can't be like that now because things are way too different in this country anymore. But I do gotta admit, I am not saying that. I just believe that debate was really against Trump. Everything I saw during the debate on like Snapchat or anything after the debate on Snapchat was all against Trump. And any more about Biden, it was talking about how he told Trump to shut up. And then they make the whole debate about his taxes. This debate is supposed to talk about what each candidate is going to do for the American people if they are elected in office. This it just makes me really mad because America cannot stay fair. They've always got to go against someone because they think they're doing a horrible job. Trump's approval rating, okay, it's not good. But let me tell you, he's the best for this country right now. We do not need a Joe Biden America. And those who support Trump, you know what I'm talking about. Even the moderator was a little bit against Trump. And I think that was because of Trump's, and I'm pretty sure his name was Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace and Trump's interview. And they both got into it a little bit. And then at the debate, he was like, oh, I had a little trouble here myself because of him. You're not supposed to say that as moderator. As a moderator, you're not supposed to be a Republican or Democrat. You're supposed to be fair towards each. And I like how they said something about the whole thing about Trump shutting down the country. I did like that they brought that up. Because I believe Trump did, even though I know people don't want to be stuck in quarantine, want to be stuck at home every single day, and can't even go to school, can't even see your friends, can't even go out and eat, stuck in the house, doing nothing, and having to do online schooling. It gets boring, and you're against whoever did that. Well, think about it. If Trump didn't shut down the country, just think about it. You or a loved one could have got this virus, gotten sick, and you or your family member could have died because of this virus if Trump did not shut it down. If it was a Democrat running the country would have stayed open, and we would have had way over 1 million deaths by now. And Joe Biden told him he did a horrible job shutting down the country. I believe it was a great idea to shut the country down. It's being back opened, and the economy is booming again. The stock market is back up. Even Dr. Anthony Fauci himself said that Trump did a wonderful job shutting down the country because it saved thousands of lives. And I really don't want a president that, one, don't know what he's talking about, forgets what he's talking about, and not just that, wants to keep America open while this is going on. Seriously. What kind of person in their right mind would say, I'm gonna keep this this beautiful country, America, open, so we can let this virus come in from China and kill everybody that it can? This pandemic is not going to end until after the election. Democratic governors are not going to open their states until after the election. And why? Because they know Trump is doing a good job, and if he gets reelected, he's gonna make it even better, and they want to stop him. I do believe in the mail-in voting fraud. I do believe they are taking certain envelopes, throwing them out, putting them somewhere else. I do believe that is happening, and I believe that's why Trump is way behind Joe Biden. Because at the beginning of the election, pretty much when people started voting a little bit, like maybe a couple months after that, Joe Biden was already past 270 electoral votes that you need to win, and Trump was only at 119. Now please tell me how Trump is only at 119 and Joe Biden is at 270 already, and the election basically already started, and next month is the election. Trump has got 2 more debates to turn his campaign around because of voting fraud. And if Trump loses, he has lost because a Democrat cheated his way into office so that he can screw us over and screw over Trump's America. I just don't know what to say anymore. I'm not sure. Because it's kind of sad that some people have to cheat to get into the presidency just to ruin our country. And they talked about the riots and stuff in Minneapolis, or not in Minneapolis, but all over the place, and involving George Floyd and I cannot remember the guy's name that was shot 7 times in the back by the police officer in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and then the Breonna Taylor thing. Now, I want to talk about that for a minute. So the Breonna Taylor was shot during a police shootout at her house between the police and her boyfriend. Now, George Floyd and what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin were stupid. It shouldn't have happened. What happened was police brutality. Breonna Taylor was not killed in police brutality. They did not intentionally shoot her or use police brutality to kill her. They go to the house with a warrant. They knock on the door. Nobody answered. They enter, and her boyfriend thinks they're intruders and starts firing. And there's nothing. How are you just going to sit there? You have to fire back because you're being shot at. You have to return fire. And she was accidentally shot during. And then people are out here saying justice for Breonna Taylor and stuff like that. This was a complete incident. This wasn't like George Floyd or what happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This was a complete accident. They shot back at the boyfriend because he was shooting back because he didn't know who they were and thought they were burglars or people that weren't supposed to be there. And he shot at him to protect him and his girlfriend. But she was accidentally shot. Then you got Joe Biden. He is the one continuing and letting these riots happen. Him and his radical left party, the Democrats. They are the reason these riots are still happening because they think they're peaceful. They think they're, let them protest. It's good that they protest. They need to protest. Come on. Burning down houses, burning down stores, breaking into stores, taking everything is not protesting, especially protesting peacefully. I believe no matter what color or culture you are, you're still an American. You're still a human. There's no difference. I don't discriminate. I'm not racist. I just believe that we all need to get along at some point because our history and Black African American history goes back years because we used them as slaves. And Abraham Lincoln, I'm glad he came into office to abolish slavery, to show that America was a non-racist America, or country. But it quite didn't work out that way because in the 60s, they were still rioting because they haven't had their rights. I believe they should have their rights, and which they do. I hate that we got the feeling that when we get pulled over, we're not going to getting pulled out of a car and getting arrested. Black people, black citizens have to think that way because they're used to that because of racist cops. I don't believe in defunding the police. I believe we need better training within the police department or any police department because it is bullcrap on how some of these cops are that are racist. That's all I have to talk about today. That's it. I'm getting ready to head to school. It is about 6:35 now. Stay safe, everybody. And please, one more thing. Please go and vote. Do not sit here and doing mail-in voting because you're scared of the coronavirus. I understand if you are 100%. I do understand. but take any precaution you need to for you to get out there and vote. Because if you don't vote in actual polls, this election is going to be horrible and a mess. So please, go out and vote. Do not sit at home and do a mail-in voting, because you don't know if it's going to get there and if it's going to count. So I say, please go out and vote. Thank you, and have a good day.